In all of this, in all of this, you looking at what you from your profile,
yes.
You used to manage customs and immigration. That means you were part of the border surveillance and management.
That's correct.
Out there. So we've talked about Nigeria's borders being porous and the need to manage it. And at a certain time, there was even a suggestion for the establishment of a border guard. Would that help in any way make a difference?
That makes a big difference. Because
having a border guard?
Having, well, that's a huge, when it comes to border management and border protection, that's a huge undertaking. I mean, and you're talking of a long border, along Borno State, where weapons are coming in freely. We need to secure our borders. The borders in this country are not secure. We all know that. I'm just sweating. Anyway, I feel if we secure our border, that is one solution to many of the problems.
How do we secure these borders?
Well, we have to bring in the experts. I can come in, and other people who have knowledge about securing borders can come in. We have to integrate technology into the process. We have to involve policymakers that will make this happen.
Yeah, but I would suggest that, have you looked at the activities of the Multinational Joint Task Force to identify the challenges they face before you make some of those recommendations? Because, if they were set up, they say, yes, we're recording some successes. Would you say they're not?
Well, we need to have, we need to align ourselves with other nations, definitely. There has to be a multinational cooperation when it comes to even border management, like you said. I think if we do more in the area of hiring more people and training more people and having them gain international experience on how to secure border, we might make some headway. But I don't think right now that is what we need to do, in the sense that this is an active, Boko Haram is, look, terrorists are ahead of the game. They are already planning their next attack. We have to do this in phases. We have to prioritize. We have to know, okay, what are we spending the money that we have, the budget on security, what do we have to do right now? We have to conduct studies. You need to bring in expert researchers to say, okay, you have done this before, you have some experience in this. Now, how can you determine, or what suggestion do you have to direct the actions of management and administrators at the...
Okay. What would you suggest we do as a country to own this? From the perspective of us as citizens. We know how after the attack in the US, how certain steps were taken. If you go to a street here, you ask a lot of people questions about Boko Haram, their approach. What do we do about improving our own security consciousness as citizens first and foremost? How would that rank? And what should we be doing?
Well, I think the way the US reacted to 9/11 was huge. The whole country united, and they realized, look, our lives have changed permanently and forever, and it is still going on right now. The same thing has to happen in Nigeria. I can see there is the awareness. Some people in the South feel Boko Haram is the problem of the North. No. When terrorist organizations...
But that would be minute, very small population, very insignificant, wouldn't you say so? Because the country is aware of the challenge this poses to us.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree with you. But in terms of fighting and creating the necessary awareness within the security forces, we need to actually have agencies, different, like in the US now. There was total reorganization within the government. Homeland Security was created, and so many other agencies, counter-terrorism agencies, were also created to fight the threats. The same thing needs to happen here. We need to conduct an internal study to see how the government is structured right now. Is it well aligned to the strategy that we have in place. If you don't get the strategy right, no matter how hard you work at the operational level, you're not going to achieve the desired results.
You know, in terms of intelligence and sharing intelligence, I mean, what is the thinking of Western countries? Because, I mean, there are those who think at the time when they suggested, yes, they were willing to supply intelligence or share intelligence with Nigeria concerning this fight, such that, but there was no commitment to put boots on the ground. That's up to us to do that. What do you think is the mindset of the West sharing information with Nigeria, particularly with respect to this fight?
Well, I think countries that are considered allies, by Nigeria, should be willing to do that, to share intelligence. But most countries, like the United States, the United States will share intelligence with a country that is ready to fight terrorism. That's what the United States does. I don't see any resistance when it comes to that. I cannot speak for other countries. I don't know how they perceive the security forces here, the security apparatus in Nigeria. I think it's up to every country to decide that. But most countries that are actively fighting terrorism are willing to share intelligence with other countries.
All right, then that's where we end it. We appreciate your comment on this morning. Professor Alaba Oluyomi is a former Customs and Border Control Officer, former Immigration Officer, and District Adjudication Officer, also former U.S. Naval Officer, a security strategist. Thank you very much for coming on this morning.
It's a great pleasure.
All right, we're back in a moment. Stay with us.